Doing another request video. This is a pretty good one too. Wide Open Change goes, can you make a video for people who are thinking of living in a van while going to college? That's what I'm planning on doing starting in January. In Colorado, oh, you're going to smoke some weed and come to Colorado, huh? Or come to Colorado and then start smoking the weed. Yeah, I lived in my van in college one entire year and then a semester, a year and a half's worth. And I lived, it was Durango, Fort Lewis College, and there was this, like, at the bottom of the hill, pretty much, there's this dirt road that went up, and, like, from the campus, and I was parked at the bottom of the dirt road, and so it was really close, so all I would do is ride my bike up to the college, and then I'd do the class and come back and just lock the bike to the car, and I never moved the car the entire year, and nobody cared. Nobody put, like a note on it or anything, man. It was like, they left me alone. It was painted all funky, all hippie style, with like murals and stuff all over it. Volkswagen van, 72. And so maybe that's one reason, I don't know. But I loved it. It was a really dry, climate. And I remember I was going like 6 months without washing my hair in like a month.
Shall we talk about where he is now?
Yeah, he's Indiana. I'm doing a video right now in just a second. Yeah, it was really dry, so I was only taking a shower like once a month and stuff. I was like, so I didn't really care. But when I did take a shower, I'd just go into the school shower, and which was there was never a line or anything, and I remember loving it. I was bragging about it the whole time. It was awesome because I knew how much money I was saving, and all I needed really was my bike and my couple pairs of clothes, and that was it. The only incidents, once there were these Hispanic gangsters, local kids, who I actually got in a fist fight with only like a year beforehand. But we didn't really recognize, or pretended we didn't recognize each other. But they were like hanging out like in front of my van, and then they came up to and I was like, it was late at night, so I was like already in bed, and they like banged on my window, and they were like, "Hey, you got a lighter, homie?" And I was like, "All right, yeah." And I got out of the car and I provided a lighter, and they got me high because they're out there smoking weed. Oh no, wait, I got them high. I think they were smoking weed, and then I packed a bowl with them, and I had a little one hitter that I pack in, and I packed it around, and then like they didn't give it back to me when it was over. And I was like, "Have you seen my one hitter?" And they're like, "Oh no, man." And they're all pretending like they didn't know where it was, and they're like looking around their feet. "Oh no, homie." And they're all like bragging about some bike they stole, and I decided not to press it. I just went back to bed because I didn't want them to fuck with my car or me or anything. But that was the only time I saw them there. And then I think some other time during this, I think it was the next semester, I think I stopped parking there because they put up a sign saying no cars allowed to park here, probably because my car is parked there. And this was when I had another car, because I didn't have that car anymore. Now I had the car that I have now, and which I inherited. And I was parked at the bottom of the hill, and like in the city, and these cops like saw me somehow, and saw that I was in there, and they told me that I couldn't sleep within the city limits, but I could sleep just outside the city limits, which is only like a mile or something out there. So I drove out, and I drove down this like little dirt road just a little bit, and I was camping there, which was actually an awesome place. I was kind of glad they busted me, because now I had this wide open area to just like all to myself. Like I was in like a teepee in the middle of the plains next to the river. It's pretty cool. And at one point I was on the actual college campus sleeping in my van, and these cops saw me there. Maybe they knew my car by then or whatever, and they summoned me to go to the court. And I went to the court, and the judge was being kind of a dick, and he's like, "How do you plead?" I was like, "I don't know, guilty." And he's like, $40 fine then. But I should have, in retrospect, I should have pled innocent, because that's private property, the college campus, and I was never told I couldn't be there from the campus security dudes. And that's out of the. Figured that would have been out of the jurisdiction of the normal cops, but I didn't think that far. And I didn't think I was even going to get a fine. I was even wondering why they even had me summoned to go to the court. But and then one time I was in my other van in another, like, one session of summer school, or in my older van, and I had a road bike and a mountain bike, and I had my road bike and mountain bike locked with separate locks with normal like master padlock, like a pretty good master padlock. And in the morning, my mountain bike, the lock was cut and my mountain bike was stolen, and it was brand new too. I had only gotten it like a week beforehand. It was kind of fucked up. But they didn't take my road bike, luckily. But so after that, I locked my bike inside of the car. But the car was parked in the college campus parking lot, and I wasn't sleeping in the car because I'd been busted before that, I think. I didn't want to get busted for sleeping in the van, so I slept in the woods next to it. And I woke up one morning because this like wolf-looking dog, it was somebody's like dog, but was licking me in the face. And I like got up and I looked at him, and then I laid down and he started looking at my face. So I got up and then he ran off, and I felt kind of bad for scaring the dog. And that actually happened to me once. He wasn't licking my face, but there was this dog like looking at me. And when I woke up, this like wild coyote, when I was in, it looked like a coyote, and but I think pretty sure it was wild when I was in Australia. But and once when I was camping in a Colorado river guide on some river trip, I woke up and I saw like paw print of a mountain lion right next to my head. But anyways, those are the only instances. And then another instance, the final semester I was there, I parked my car in the campus, and then I would just walk out on kind of through the bushes and sleep in my sleeping bag. And once these two kids were having sex, it was only like 15 feet away from me. And this girl was like, oh, Michael. And I was like, geez, I tried to be quiet. But I would leave my sleeping bag there. And when I was going to school, and one of my friends said he went and got high over there and with these kids, and then they saw my sleeping bag. And the kid was like, ooh, score, I'm going to grab this. And the other kid was like, no way, I know that kid. Leave that sleeping bag there. And so I stopped leaving my sleeping bag there, and I started leaving it in my car again. I just didn't want to be seen carrying my sleeping bag out. Thought I was being stealthy, but apparently I wasn't as stealthy as I thought from leaving my sleeping bag out in the woods, in the bushes. But other than that, those are the only like instances I remember sleeping in my car. I used to, I told everybody about it and thought it was totally awesome. I don't know if I'd never heard of anybody else doing it the whole time I was doing it though. But yeah, I recommend it if you're a college kid. See, I actually totally wish I had done it the other years in school too, because I would have had enough money to buy the season pass at the ski area, and I would have had a more quality life, by having more money, and less roommate drama in a few instances. But yeah, I mean, I never drove my car. I was afraid to drive my car. It was a 72 Volkswagen van that I was just terrified to drive because every time I got behind the wheel, it broke down. So I'd never drive it, and I only when I go home to visit like for the spring break or whatever, and then of course it would break down every time. But so yeah, I got away with just leaving it parked in the same place the entire time. Yeah, and once I started doing that, I was glad that I had. It was my senior year, and then I did a fifth year because I did an extra semester for the student teaching, the education, which I got kicked out of. And so then I did the final semester in the other car. So it was like a year and a half. But yeah, when I started doing it, I was like, oh man, of course I should have been doing this a long time ago. But yeah, it worked out great. Because you can use the school shower. Also, I was in the library all the time. That's where I did all my homework and stuff. And I would even watch movies in the library, And so I never wished that I was anywhere else. And if you get bored, I guess you could hang out with other friends and stuff, or maybe even couch surf around, as long as and if you ever wear out your welcome in different places, you can just go back to your car, So that'd be cool if somebody could do I'm sure that by now there's people who actually do video logs. In fact, I know one guy, I think he was doing it for a while. What's his name? I can't remember. But yeah, go ahead and do it, and let everybody else know you do it, Unless you're in some place where you think they might fuck with you, And I think cops, if they figure out that you're doing it, they would bust you. Because I've been, cops have busted me those times, and I didn't know why they would even have known, you know. So yeah, the stealthier the better. But living in a van, that's all you need. And just do it. And that's about all the advice I can give. Don't lock your bicycle though to your bumper with a padlock. Just take the wheels off and put it in the front seat. It'll be a lot more conspicuous. So maybe take the wheels off and put it between the front seats so that people can't really look in. But it's not worth it to lock the bike to the outside and have somebody cut your lock. And it'd be really awkward if you busted somebody cutting your lock while you're sleeping in the van. So yeah, don't lock your bike to the outside of the van. And if you just bring it inside. And that's about all I can say about that. Peace out.